Alright, Happy New Year. It's almost 9 a.m. on a Sunday, January 1st, 2023. We have made it to the new year. I was not up super late, and I wasn't drinking particularly hard. But man, I am knocked on my butt this morning. Where I live, it's been very cold, and then as of like yesterday, it was not very cold anymore. So all the trees and the plants started like, you know, pollinating. And so like I got a little bit of some allergies. But I'm over my Christmas cold. So everything you hear is just allergies. So that's good. Um Anyways, it's time to do some prep for Curse of Strahd. There's a lot of things that we could work on. A ton of things we could work on. Nothing that we have to work on, as far as I know. The group is going to be heading to Barovia, the village of Barovia, and that's going to require some overland travel. So what we can do is we can roll that overland travel ahead of time to get that knocked out. So let's go ahead and see if there's any overland travel. So I'm going to go to private roll, and I guess we'll just chuck out a bunch of D20s. I'm assuming they're going to stay on the road, which means there's only an 18 or higher, which should show you how unlucky my Nightfall group has been, because they just keep getting encounters. It's crazy. Alright, so Daybreak encounters. Here we go. Oh, we got to figure out how long it's going to take them to get there, too. So let's go to the overworld map. Here we go. And on my Isekai groups, which are higher difficulty level, I have every square is set as 2 miles. Whereas my other group, every square is set at 1 mile. I think that's correct. There we go. That means that the world should be roughly like 250 miles across. Oh, not even. There we go. 188 miles across. Okay. So, at 2 miles a pop. Alright. And let's see. Go here. Move them to La House. And let's see. Going from the Dirt's House to Barovia is 2, 4, 10, 18, about 24 miles. It's not too bad. And then along here, getting to the Sarah Pool, about 40 miles. Alright, cool. Now, 1 mile hexes really worked well, honestly. And I'd kind of want to renege on my 2 mile hex thing. Happy New Year, Crash and chat. Is it too late for the mandatory? I didn't see you for a whole year joke. Nah, keep it up. Keep it up. Yeah. Where have you been all year? Alright, so let's see. My issue is, like, with a horse, you travel twice as fast. So, it's really not too bad to have 2 mile hexes. And I want the world to feel relatively big. But that does mean that, like, the journey from the village of Barovia to Valakai along the road, I mean, it takes a long-ass time, right? So, if we're following the road here, and you stay to the road, you know, we're looking at, oh, Jesus, you know, like 150, 170 miles, right? If you stay on the road the whole time. That's crazy. Let me open up the other world and see what I set the mileage at on that one. So, hold on. Let's see. Alright, we'll open up, no, not classic. I know what classic is. Classic set at 1 mile. There, Nightfall. There we go. So we'll go ahead and boot up Nightfall. And let's see. Ugh. It feels so gross this morning. Oh, I found this very good travel calculator. Let me throw that into chat. It's called lazytravelcalculator.com. And it does a very good job. It's not as good as the advanced one from the 5e Magic Shop, but I couldn't get the 5e Magic Shop to validate my Patreon account to unlock like the better version, and I couldn't get them to communicate with me on Patreon to fix the problem. So that kind of sucked, because I would love to have the 5e Magic Shop travel calculator, but again, they won't. It wouldn't work with my my thing, so I don't know what to do. But yeah, I definitely hungered for more power, and I wanted the more advanced one, but yeah, it just didn't happen. Let's see. Maybe they fixed it. It's been like a month or so. I don't mind continuously throwing money at them if it will actually work, but yeah, I keep getting this 500 server error when I try to log into the site, which really sucks because they have the best. Animals are enhanced. If your party is enhanced, it has all that stuff. So it'd be really cool to actually get that working again. Oops. All right. And let's see. Nightfall is up. So let's go ahead and see what the travel settings are for Nightfall. I've also been using this resource right here to name NPCs. It's a Barovian names thing. This campaign seems easy. No one's died for a whole year. Nice. We got to open with that one. Yeah, that's good. That's real good. Let's see. Let's check the overworld. And what did I set these poor bastards at? Theirs is 2.5 miles apiece, which is bananas. I think I'll actually just drop them down to 2. It's not like they know for sure what the fucking grid is or anything else like that. All the measurements have been hearsay and speculation. Alright. My concern is, if it's only 1 mile across, then it just feels so small. Let's see. Toggle navigation. Configure. Grid. 1 mile. Okay. Yeah, so in the test world, if the world's only 1 mile, it's only like 94 miles across and only 60 miles north to south. Which just, I mean, I know they don't have magic, and maybe I'll be kicking myself later if they don't have the right stuff, but it's going to feel like way too much travel time. You know what I mean? So this is like my last chance, I think, to really decide and fix how far everything is, you know? Like, for example, the Vistani camp, only 3 miles outside of town, that makes sense. The Vistani camp being 6 miles outside of town makes a little less sense. Argon Vostalt being 11 miles as the crow flies, you know, that makes a little bit of sense, because you can still see it from the town on like a clear day or whatever. But it would still allow a lot of travel time without the whole campaign being turned into a nothing but camping. Do you know what I mean? So, for example, to get to Valakai, if it was 1 mile, here we are following the road as it goes, up and around, and over, and around, and over, and around, and boom, right? 90 miles, okay? So we go to our travel calculator, and we say that traveling by foot, they want to travel 90 miles, all right? And they travel 8 hours per day. It's still going to take them at a normal pace, it's going to take them 3 days to get from one settlement to the other. So I think I just need to accept that Barovia is small and just make the grids 1 mile and call it a day. That means that traveling by wagon or horse, right? If you're traveling like 60 feet, you could get there in 1 day and change, right? So any more than that, I feel like it's almost unbelievable how far away everything is. So I'm just gonna chalk up what happened to Nightfall as being just very slow, very, broken legs and scared and overly cautious and moving slow. And we're just going to make everything 1 mile because I can't do that much camping and random encounters. And I need to decide now rather than later so that there's no more inconsistencies there. So that's what I'm going to do with that. All right. So that means let's go to each of the worlds, and oh, there he is, just traveling along. That's not creepy or anything. Whee! All right, let's go ahead and update all the maps just to be 1 mile, and then we'll call it a day. So 1 mile. There we go. And then daybreak. We'll go in here, set it to 1 mile. All right. It's for the best. It's for the best. Because I don't want to run this campaign for the rest of my life, and I don't want them to burn out because traveling got to be too punishing and too boring. Okay, so let's get the marker back where it needs to be at the spooky house. All right, let's see. Oh, journal entry. We gotta move the house to the other side of the road. There we go. And they're starting here, and they got to walk down the road. So it's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 miles. All right, that ain't nothing. So let's see. 12 miles would only take them 5 hours, but they are going to be moving at a slow pace, so it will take them 7.5 hours. So we got to make 7 checks. All right, if I have the checks done in advance, it just makes my life easier. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh shit, 5, 6, 7. Oh my god! Alright, wow. Now keep in mind that they only get random encounters on the road on an 18, 19, or 20. I rolled last night for my Curse of Strahd Classic group, traveling on the road. I rolled 21 travel checks, and they only had an encounter on the 21st check. That's how crazy that is. And these guys, on 7 checks, they got 3 random encounters. Alright, so the first random encounter they're going to have is Hidden Bundle. The second random encounter today is going to be Rain. The sky opens up, rain pelts down, and a torrential rainstorm happens, which would definitely slow their progress and then sort of flood the town when they finally get there. And then finally, they find a trinket with number 3, it looks like. So that is their journey into town. Not too bad. Okay. And let's see. While we have this open, I can go ahead and add 3 more to replace the 3 that we're going to use today. So I'll go over here. I'll go to our table. I'll go to our travel table, random encounters. Here we go. And we are still using road. So we're going to roll 1, 2, and 3. And we'll see what we get. All right. Mislaid memories. Okay, we have to look that one up. Let's see. I want mislaid memories. There we go. And then what else we got? Another trinket. And then scouts. Alright, there's 1d6 scouts. So they find 6 scouts. Okay, that's pretty handy. Alright. So that is what's waiting for them later on down the road. I kind of want to look up, yeah, let's see, in the Barovian Nights, let's find out what Mislaid Memories is. Even though it's a ways off, I am curious. Alright. Mislaid Memories. A toad ribbits up to you, eyeing you suspiciously. Oi! It says irritably. I need a ride. Anyone going up to the mountains? This is Thought, the familiar of Xanther the Lich, holy shit, who resides in the Amber Temple. Wow. Thought can restore the Lich's memories, but it has never been able to get close enough to the temple after being sent away in one of the Lich's characteristic fits of pique. Thought considers it long past time to reconcile and can direct characters to the Amber Temple in exchange for their protection. That is amazing! Oh my god. Alright, so let me... Wow. Wow. That's so cool. Okay. Let me add that. That is such a great supplement. So much more interesting than more wolves. That Barovian Nights. Good shit. Good eats. Alright. Now, it occurred to me last night with my classic group that I lucked out that they didn't have any random encounters, because if you look, you see that there is a random encounters Nightfall, random encounters Daybreak, but I don't have a random encounters section for... Yep, that's right. I don't have a random encounter section for my classic group, so I need to go ahead and add that in. Alright. So what we'll do is we'll go down here, and this is where I should probably be using like Microsoft 360 or whatever the hell it is, because I heard that you can put like tabs and like accordions and shit inside your whatever it's called document, and that would be really, really useful. But alas, I do not have such a thing. So let's see, get rid of these. There we go. Alright, so these are the different locations, and for now, we probably only need woods, roads, and rivers. So even though I don't have that game for another 2 weeks, while I'm thinking about it and I have the stuff open, we're going to do it. Don't worry, we're still going to build some giants today. I just want to get some of this bookkeeping stuff out of the way first. Alright, we need 10 rolls on the roads. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Alright. The first random encounter that they're going to have is shitty weather. Oh, okay. That's easy enough. Let's see. There we go. Hold on a sec. Checking in on the Muzak. There we go. Alright, cool. So let's see. Shitty weather is the first one, and then the next one down is Sindali. I don't know what Sindali is. Sounds pretty cool. The next one up is a storm. The next one up is Tendrils in the Mist. That's no fun. Then we've got the Hanged Man. We got a Pauper's Grave. We've got a Phantom Disagreement. We got a Druid and 2d6 Plague Blights. Oh man. Not Plague Blights. Twig Blights. 7 Twig Blights. That ain't too bad. Alright, and then we've got Rain. And then we've got a Wolf Spy. I'm gonna be honest. I think that I think Barovia is kind of a shitty place to live. I'm just saying. Seems really bad. All right, I'm gonna drag my encounters thing over to here so that I can look at our Barovia Knights thingy. There we go. And we're going to look up Sindali. Alright, Sindali. A ragdoll has been discarded in the mud. It looks like it's been trodden into the dirt and forgotten. This tiny servant, see the spell, was created by Morgantha in a moment of idleness and given to a family who failed to pay their bills. The doll, a poorly woven burlap poppet, was built to lure the children of the family away from their parents towards the windmill. The doll, once it has been picked up, tugs and pulls weakly any humanoid it meets in the direction of the old bone grinder. Well, that's terrifying. Alright, go ahead and grab that. And Sindali. Put that text in there. Alright, let's see. Storm. Well, there's rain. Might as well grab rain while we're there. So, my understanding of this particular time loop... Oh, one note is the one. Okay, got it. Thank you. This particular timeline of Barovia is that Strahd is pretty much just like so depresso and so like just giving up on everything. He's not taking care of anything. He's not trying to make things right. He's not trying to have any real big schemes or machinations. He's just sort of let everything fall apart. And he's sort of motivating himself, or trying to motivate himself, to give it one last hurrah. But even the resurrection of Tatiana is barely on his radar at this point. Which would explain the absolute decline of the region, there only being 3 towns left, there being a food crisis, there being a wine crisis, other villains causing issues, the resurgence of Arvin Vostholt, just a lot of things are just kind of falling apart for this guy. Which, I mean, we all feel bad about that, for sure. Alright, so then we've got Storm. Rain lashes, blah blah blah, torrential storm for 12 hours. That's not fun. Alright, and then we've got Tendrils in the Mist. That one comes up all the time. Let's see what we got with that. Tendrils in the Mist is a vampiric mist. The same vampiric mist that almost wiped Nightfall. That's no fun. At least we know that we already have that one set up. Let's see. The Hanged Man, I think, is an official adventure. Nope. There we go. This poor soul was nailed to the post after being falsely accused of witchcraft by his neighbors. The specter still lingers around the body, but cannot be roused unless someone tries to disturb the remains, and then it acts with unreasoning violence. Alright. There we go. I might make him a bandit instead, like that Strahd set up. That'd be kind of cool. Because in the books, it talks about how Strahd hates bandits, and that was frequently where he got all of his blood from, is he would patrol the roads, and he would leave one bandit corpse behind, usually a soulless person, because they don't taste very good. Like horribly mutilated, head on a pike, the whole deal. You know, to say no bandits or no banditry or whatever. But then he'd take all the other bandits back to his castle, and he'd put them in the dungeon so that he could feed off them for a while. So I feel like that would probably be a better thing than this guy randomly was accused of witchcraft or whatever. Alright, Pauper's Grave. The disturbed earth here suggests something large. Perhaps many small things are buried here. The place smells strongly of rot. There are 6d10 bodies buried here, of which roughly 1/3 are children. These bodies were buried after a plague epidemic, and the village was destroyed shortly afterwards. It should smell so strongly after all this time. That it should smell so strongly after all this time is testament to Barovia's fell influence. 2d6 skeletons are hidden in the earth, ready to attack anyone foolish enough to dig them up. Searching all the bodies reveals 1d6 Barovian silver coins and 2 trinkets. So definitely not worth the effort. That's kind of a lot of things in this campaign are just not worth the effort. I could see how morale is a huge issue for Curse of Strahd campaign. So Phantom Disagreement. Alright, 2 ghostly warriors are standing 2 feet apart, bickering. Moldering skeletons lie at their feet. You go, barks one. No, you go, responds the other wearily. It seems they may have been stuck in this rut for some time. These two phantom warriors have been arguing for centuries about who should be the first to leave their bodies behind and pass on to the afterlife. Eventually, this argument became rote, then habit, then the only thing that they could remember. Neither can recall the reason for the row, just that it's the only thing they have left. Aw, well, definitely if the players can help these guys pass on to the next life, which is impossible in Barovia, I would give them, like, I don't know, DM inspiration for sure. Alright, we know what a druid and twig blights are, and wolf spy. Let's see. Strahd has sent one of his lupine servants to spy on the party and return news of their whereabouts. He also commands the wolf to ascertain their general state of readiness and health. The wolf sneaks up on the party to check this information as quietly as it can. Compare the stealth of the wolf to the party's highest passive perception score. If the wolf is caught, you know, they encounter it. If the wolf is successful, it returns to Strahd, which takes roughly 2d4 hours. Strahd uses this to inform a staged attack within the next 24 hours. Oh, shit. Well, that's not good. Okay. Let me grab that. Wow. Alright. So, that's taken care of. Let's throw out... We're only going to do 3 woods and 3 rivers, because I do want to make these giants while I'm still thinking about it also. So... Close down these road encounters, go to our table, pull up the woods encounters, and give me 1, 2, 3, 4. No, wait, we're going to do 3, whatever. Okay. So let's move these over again. There we go. And our encounters are... a hunting trap. Oh, that's easy enough. Okay, and what else we got? The grave. Okay. 1d8 Strahd zombies. Alright. That could be easy or not. And a pumpkin patch. Alright. Okay, so let me zoom this back over here. Let's open up our document again. Alright, I think we had Pumpkin Patch before for someone else. Pumpkin Patch. This is a Pumpkin Roper. That's horrifying. And strangely enough, we already have a miniature for it, so that's fun. And let's see, Hunting Trap, Grave. I think Grave is covered in the standard encounters. Yeah, I don't think there's an actual grave. I think these are all special graves. Okay, so those are all standard encounters. Alright, great. And drag this back over here. Go back in here. And then we get a couple of river encounters. And then it's giant time. Alright, here we go. 1, 2, 3. Alright. Oh my god, they got the lake monster? That sucks. So let's see. They got Sudden Storm. Wow. 1d6 werewolves. And... and then the lake monster. Which, there's a little CG next to that, which I guess that means I'm supposed to make up a lake monster. Maybe we'll do that next stream. Because now it's time for giants. Okay, so why are we adding giants to Curse of Strahd? Alright, there is a lady named Baba Lazaga. And everyone calls her Baba Lasagna because the writers just dropped the ball big time. You don't name somebody such a low-hanging fruit like joke name. Such a dumb idea. But anyways, Lady Baba Lazaga, who is a very strong Magic the Gathering commander, if you're into sacrificing artifacts. Anyways, I digress. She's a hag, but not a hag. She's a wizard, but not a wizard. She's a witch, but not a warlock. She's one of the most powerful enemies that you can face in the entire campaign, especially in a low to no magic game, but honestly, in any game, she's very, very tough. She lives in the ruins of Berez in a magic hut that is animated by one of the magic wine stones that has gone missing from the Wizards of Wine winery. So there's a lot going on here. So, what does this have to do with giants? She flies around in a giant skull, essentially. Now, I thought that was really cool, because, like, Dr. Wily, you know what I'm saying? Here's the skullcopter. Now, you might look at that and say, that's a dragon skull. That's not a giant skull. And you would be right. Because, raise the stakes from Lunch Break Heroes. They were like, bro, there's no giants in Barovia. Where would she get a giant skull to turn into a flying car? You should give her Arvin Vostholt's skull, because that would force the party to go deal with her if they don't have a treasure related to her or to Berez or any of that kind of stuff. If they want to solve the Arvin Vostholt thing, they would need to do that. And I'm like, damn, that's a good idea. That's a real good idea. But then the question kind of arises, how did she get the skull? Right? Like, in the story, in the adventure, Raw, like, Strahd takes the skull and he puts it in the Hall of Bones, because it's a hall full of bones. And it just makes sense for the skull to be in the Hall of Bones. He took it as a trophy when he killed the Silver Dragon. Why would he leave it behind? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't make any sense. Also, like, dragons are really valuable, and you could use their drops to make all sorts of amazing and cool things, like, you know, dragon wing cloaks and armor of resistance and all sorts of cool stuff. Like, why wouldn't he have used every part of the buffalo, as it were? Why would he leave the skull around? And then you might say, oh, maybe he gave it to Baba Lysaga. He doesn't like Baba Lysaga. He thinks she's a weirdo. And she hides from him because she's like the ultimate fangirl in a very creepy way. Like, she would, pretend to breastfeed him and stuff when he was a baby. Like, this is not an okay relationship that they have together, right? This was like a crazy nursemaid that fed him like demon blood and stuff to try and unlock his arcane powers and make him like more powerful, because she's completely crazy. This is also why, I guess, in D&D land, you don't have a witch be your midwife. Just saying. So, okay, what if we switch it back to the giant thing? Where would we put the skull, right? So here's the regular skullcopter. Okay, it's pretty cool, right? So where do we put the regular Arvin Vostholt skull if we switch back to giant skull? Well, obviously, you know, it would make sense to put it in the Hall of Bones and then have it animate in the Hall of Bones. Now, I thought that was a pretty good idea, but then I was listening to Puffin Forrest recap his playthrough of Curse of Strahd. He was a player, not the DM. I feel like he'd be a rough player. He reminds me a lot of myself. Yeah, it does look like a Bowser Jr. car. It's adorable. And they had to fight Arvin Vostholt, the Draco Lich. Okay? Boop, boop, boop. Big brain thinking here, right? So, that's a cool idea. They had to fight Arvin Vostholt, the Draco Lich. He took every part of the buffalo, and then he put the buffalo to work, right? So that sounds like really good. So, okay, you got Arvin Vostholt. What does he do with Arvin Vostholt? He has Arvin Vostholt guard the path to the Amber Temple. Because you don't want nobody going up to the Amber Temple and getting special gifts that could then, challenge him. So he's got Arvin Vostholt guarding the way there. So now you got a Dracolich fight as you're climbing this icy-ass mountain. That's way cooler than a rock. I mean, we'll still have the rock there as a random encounter for sure. But, like, holy crap, that's pretty cool, right? So, okay, now we got a Dracolich. We don't need our vampire dragon anymore. Sorry, kid, next. So we're going to get rid of the really cool vampire dragon, and instead we're going to go ahead and have, let's see, where did I put that? Yeah, so we're going to get rid of Alaron, the vampiric deep dragon, and instead we're just going to have Arvin Vostholt be a Dracolich. instead. So Argynvossalt being a Dracolich, that's where the skull is. So now we're back to having, and also it didn't make sense to have a vampire dragon because there's not enough blood to feed a vampire dragon. At least I don't think there is, right? Unless there were giants for it to feed on. Oh, right. So now Baba Lasagna is back in her Dr. Wily Bowser car, and she's flying around in this skull. Cool. Now we have to figure out another reason for the party to go deal with her if they don't already have stuff there. Now, of course, getting the 3 stones is very good, and they should do that. So there are 3 stone circles. This is all from the Puffin Forest thing, which was actually a pretty good listen. It was a good podcast. What they did is when Strahd bound himself to the land, he traveled to each of these 3 circles, and he performed a ritual each of these 3 circles, binding himself even more to the land. And I think that's cribbed from like the Thanes of Barovia or some shit, which is like a fan-made DLC content. I'm not going to worry about all that per se, but the 3 stones could be brought to each of the circles, returned to the earth there. That would break Strahd's bond to the land, and that would de-level Strahd, making him easier to face in the final conflict. So, like, one of them's in charge of his defenses, one of them's in charge of, like, his regeneration or something like that. One of them is the thing that gives him immunity to sunlight or something like that. So, yeah, like, they take the stones to the sites, and then they sacrifice them there. So then they do need to go see Baba Lasagna if they want to get rid of that power-up that is helping Strahd. So, there you go. Alright, so now that we've arrived there, Baba Lasagna has a giant skull. Where did the giant skull come from? The giant skull came from a giant, and the giants are going to live in the mountains. So, we're going to add giants to Mount Gacchus, and we will also add some, I think Mount Gacchus probably covers it. Yeah, because, like, Berez is nearby, so it kind of makes sense. So we're going to add a bunch of hill giants to Mount Gacchus. That's all. That's all I'm going with this. So, here we go. Do we already have a good hill giant? I want to say yes. I'm only seeing the SRD hill giant populating right now. Let's see. And I know I have more hill giants than that. Let's see. I made a real good one for Red Hand of Doom. We might have to go grab the giant from Red Hand of Doom. Let's see. We got a V9 hill giant. I think that'll do nicely. Alright, so we'll drag this hill giant out. Fantastic. And then we're going to go over here to find the hill giant. And we're going to give it the full Curse of Strahd treatment. So we're going to add weaknesses. Hey, what's up, Orf? Happy New Year. I'm not super hungover. I wish I had drank more than I did, because I'm doing 3 months of keto now. And my favorite alcohol generally has sugar in it because I'm a sweet tooth baby bitch and I like sweet drinks. So now it's going to be just like straight vodka for 3 months, and that's always hard. That's always hard. Anyways, so we're going to go ahead and open up all of our monster pimping documents. So we're going to go open monster weaknesses. All right. And then we're going to look for hill giants. Hey, this isn't right. Alright, let's go to the very nice table of contents bookmarks here. And we'll go down to the giant section. We're almost there. EFG, G, giants. Alright. And let's see. I like hill giants because they are very like the Hills Have Eyes cannibals. Would I like your GG version 3 Cyclops? I mean, could you give me like some of the cool abilities for it? Because I'm trying not to do too much Giphy Glyph stuff in this campaign if I can help it, other than like Paragon economy and stuff like that. All right. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder. When sprayed with perfume, the giant must make a DC 10 Constitution saving throw. On a failed save, the giant becomes poisoned for 1 minute. A poisoned giant can repeat the saving throw at the end of each of its turns. That's the dumbest weakness I've ever heard of. First of all, they have a huge Constitution bonus. Like, why would you waste any action economy spraying the giant? I mean, it's kind of cute, but I just don't really see. I don't know. I don't even want to put it on there. And then Puzzled Puzzler. When presented with a riddle, the hill giant must succeed on a DC 10 intelligence saving throw or become incapacitated for 1 minute as it puzzles it out. On a successful save, the giant is immune to this effect for 24 hours. Okay, I like Puzzled Puzzler quite a bit. I think that's kind of cool. They have a terrible int save, so that's a good chance of that working. I'm going to assume that they are incapacitated unless attacked, ... which feels like that would have been a good thing to include in the description. So, anyways, we'll add that as a feature, and we'll go here and put weakness, Puzzled Puzzler, and then we'll go here, grab this. And I guess you got to speak their language too, which is unlikely. There's a lot of vagaries in this particular weakness, but Alright. And let's see. If giant is attacked or senses hostility during this time, it ignores the puzzle and attacks. Okay. Not the best weakness overall. Let's see. Let's give it something related to hunger. That might be kind of cool. Ravenous Hunger. A creature has advantage to Charisma Persuasion checks given to Troll to accept an offering of meat. The check automatically succeeds if the meat is from a goat. Perfect. That's what we'll give them as their other weakness. Ravening Hunger. Alright. Weakness. Ravening Hunger. Or Ravenous Hunger. There we go. Post this in. And what you're seeing, I did this for every single monster in this campaign. Every single monster has the full write-up of weaknesses, special buffs, all that kind of stuff. Alright, Hill Giant. And let's see, to check on max succeeds, on a wisdom saving throw, the Hill Giant has disadvantage on wisdom perception checks while it consumes the food. This effect ends if the Hill Giant takes damage. Alright, sweet. And now we need to close this one down. And we're going to open Bloodied and Bruised. And let's see, we want the regular monster manual, Bloodied and Bruised. Okay. And we're going to look for Hill Giant. Oh, great. Having the same searching issue with this one. That's fine. So we'll go down to the Giant section. And go to Hill Giant. Alright. Frailty. Frustrated. The giant is frustrated by its injuries. At the start of each of its turns, it must succeed on a DC 10 Wisdom saving throw or attack whatever creature is closest to it. If two or more creatures are within the same distance of the giant, it chooses its target at random. Okay. So we need to go to our monster weaknesses folder. Where is our monster weaknesses? Bloodied and Bruised. So Frailty, Torn Shape. We're going to go in here and change this to Frailty Frustrated. And change that out. And what we can do now is we can add giants to most of our random encounter tables because giants are now a thing that exists in the world. And honestly, giants, especially hill giants, are very scary for low-level parties. So I think this is pretty cool. Now we get an action. So let's see. New ability, Fiery Wound. New ability, Parry. New ability, Battle Presence. Alright, we'll drag out that. New ability, Parry. And we'll go here and put in Ground Smash. As an action, while bloody, the giant can hit the ground at its feet, making the earth shake. Each medium or smaller creature staying within 15 feet of the giant, when it hits the ground, must succeed on a DC 16 saving throw or fall prone. After using this ability, the giant can make a single melee attack as a bonus action. So that seems pretty good. Alright. No, we're smaller. Ooh, we gotta keep an eye on the clock. Only got 16 minutes till the game. But I would like to get all this done. Death Throws Timber. Alright. And let's see. So what we'll do is we'll take new ability Parry over. And we'll change it to Death Throws Timber. There we go. And the giant falls in a random direction, provided it isn't prone. Roll a d8. Blah, blah, blah. I think I might already have that on here. Let's see. Death Throws Timber. Nope. I'm building it right now. Okay. So we'll do this. Let's see. Boy, there's a lot of poorly formatted copy-paste going on here. We're getting there. We're getting there. She had a lot to say about this particular situation. Alright, cool. So let's check out the one Orf sent over. We'll just make this the most complicated hill giant ever conceived. Okay. So going in here, we'll just duplicate this horse, and then we'll overwrite this horse with Orf Cyclops. Alright. So let's see. Compare and contrast with our hill giant. Wait, what world am I building this in? Shit. Oh no, I was building it in Nightfall. Ah, okay. Hold on. Alright, we will duplicate the hill giant, and then we'll import over the hill giant. There we go. What is the point of a test world if you're not building in the test world? It's a great question. Alright. So this guy's got Brutal Attacker. You critically hit on a 19 to 20. Jesus Christ, Orf. Alright, we'll add that. Let's see. Poor Depth Perception. Reckless is already there. Siege Monster. Good pick. Triggered ability Cornered. I think they've got enough cool abilities. Frustrated seems cooler. Boulder. This guy has Rock. Great Club. Aggressive. Oh my gosh. Yikes. They've already got a 40-foot speed, and I want the party to be able to escape from them if they need to. They got Fling already, and then we got Death Throws Timber. So, yeah, I think we're pretty much on the same page. That works out pretty good. Alright. Isn't there a way to teach it to make all of the attacks crit on a higher? I think I have to go to each one of these. Hold on. Let's see. Giant's Club. Crit Threshold. There we go. 19. Can't see it with the dark sheet, but it's there. And Rocks. Same deal. Details. 19. Okay. Alright. So let's see. Anything is a weapon, blah, 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 weakness, blah, blah. Oh, no! Lex is contacting me because he needs something. Wait. No, not you, the other Lex. You need stuff. Shit. Okay. The last thing we need is monster loots. So, opening our harvesting and loots folder, we will go to Ann Gregerson's document on looting, and we'll go to Hill Giant. And let's see. Fomorian, there we go. Hill Giant. They have giant eyes. They have giant toes. They have a giant's heart. And then they have a tribal amulet, which is, wow, amulet of proof against detection and location. Jesus Christ. And a 90% chance that it is a non-magical tribal amulet. That's amazing. Okay. Plus they got their giant sacks, too. So, that's the thing. Alright, down here under inventory, we're going to add this, and we're going to put Hill Giant Loot, and then I'm just going to paste this in so that I don't have to look it up later. Alright, sweet. So our giant is good to go. I got a couple things I got to take care of before the game starts. So go ahead and enjoy the rest of your day. Lexaeus23 is going to be streaming the game at 10, so in 10 minutes. Maybe I'll see you then. Otherwise, I'll be back tonight doing some prep for Mythic Odyssey and running Mythic Odyssey. So if I don't see you then, I'll just see you next time.
guy kind of character. So I don't think he's gonna make it all the way.
We'll see. The our lives are going to be getting.
So
I mean, yeah, we have a decent. We at least made out of the house. That's at least a victory we can take.
Yeah, we got our class. We made out of the house. Yeah, we'll see if we make it to our subclass now.
That's the next main milestone.
Yeah, Reed's goal is to latch on to the strongest NPC. And then switch places when he has to.
Damn.
I really wanted to. So Crash called that ability selfish. I really wanted it to be called not the face, not the face.
I mean, you could definitely change it for sure. Let's see. Curse of Strahd, Daybreak voice. There we go. Okay.
Crash, you get any rest on the holiday break?
I got a real bad Christmas cold from work Christmas party, and then I got over that for about 2 days, and then I got another cold, but that one only lasted for like 2 days, and now I'm good, except in Maryland, we roll randomly for weather every day, sometimes 2 or 3 times a day. And we went from it being like 20 degrees to 66 degrees. And so all of the plants jizzed all over everything. And now I have, because they think it's spring, the poor bastards. So now I've got some like allergies I'm dealing with today. But other than that, I'm feeling all right.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Being in San Diego, I haven't thought about seasons in years.
Yeah, like Naples, where I grew up as a kid in Italy, like Mediterranean climate. So we really didn't have weather.
Oh,
yeah.
I used to live in Pozzuoli for 3 years.
Oh, beautiful.
And yeah, I love Naples.
And then Monterey, where I spent a lot of middle school. Again, Mediterranean climate, no weather. Yeah, I don't know. Maryland is something else, for sure. I'm not sure how I ended up stuck here, but
I'm assuming Navy brat with Monterey.
Yeah. Both me and my wife are Navy kids, and then both our parents retired to Maryland, and then we came here when we had our second kid, so that the grandparents could be nearby, all that, and then we just got stuck here. So, yeah, it's beautiful, but it's very expensive, and it's the weather is just a disaster. So
yeah. My dad was at Fort Meade for a few years, and so I spent a little time outside Baltimore growing up. And thank God, like I was around junior high where you're starting to try to formulate if you think you're going to be cool or not, and because otherwise I would have been backwater, like West Texas, middle of nowhere,
Oh.
Yeah. So I'm very thankful for those 3 formative years on the East Coast.
I spent like 3 or 4 years in Beaumont, Texas, which is basically so far east, it's like almost Louisiana.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, what an experience!
Every time I think of Beaumont, I think of, because that was the name of the town on Footloose.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, you think I'm small town? I think Beaumont's a small town. Sorry,
Oh no,
my
no
references
worries.
are old.
I too am the old. So people on Reddit were freaking out about somebody posting like, I found my dad's old PlayStation 1 from when he was a kid. And then like a lot of people, I guess in their 30s, were suddenly having like existential crisis about being old. And I'm like thinking about my Atari.
Yeah, I'm like, I grew up with an Intellivision. I was like,
Yeah. I remember I didn't have an Atari, but I had the first NES system.
Oh, that was huge in the mid 80s when that came out. Yeah.
Yeah, but now I'm laughing because I just turned 34 a couple days ago. The bones are starting to creak a little bit.
Yeah, I got a decade on you, and I can tell you it gets worse.
I imagine.
It's almost supernatural. Like, you hit 40, and it's like built into your DNA or something. You hit 40, and suddenly your body's like, oof, about everything. About everything. It's just like, oof, I don't know.
Yeah, it's funny how like you can wake up and it's like, wait, did I sleep wrong? I've been doing this for 40 years. How do I all of a sudden not know how to sleep and I wake up and it hurts?
Yeah. You just turn in your chair to grab something, and you're like, "Well, I broke my back. That's cool." And I've heard that for men, if you work out and you have good muscle mass, the muscles are able to kind of hold the ship together. But now I look
That
around.
depends on you having good muscle, man.
Well, right, yeah, and I'm just like, I don't have any of this here muscle mass, and now that I'm 40, plus,
muscles you're talking of.
yeah, it feels real bad to try to get those muscles. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know, like, eh. I try. I'm doing keto for the next 3 months to try to drop some weight that I picked up. So my metabolism, I'm like one of those people that if I diet, I just instantly lose weight. But if I stop dieting, because I have ADHD and sometimes there's some impulse control. So like a normal person eat like 3 Oreos, I might eat 13 Oreos. You know what I'm saying? So if I'm not like on a strict regimented diet, I just slowly start to like reinflate. And then I'm like, ah, shit. And then I'll like fast/diet for like a few months and lose all the weight. And then, I don't know. I mean, I'm glad I have the ability to do that, but it's still miserable because sugar is the most addictive drug I have ever taken.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god. Yeah. The first time I tried to do keto, cause it got real bad. And I did keto for over a year straight and lost 50 pounds. And the first two weeks of no sugar, I thought I was gonna die or kill someone. Like, it was so bad. And then the first 2 months were rough. And then after that, a part of your soul dies, and you're just like, oh well. And then eventually you become a beautiful skeleton because you've eaten your own body. Keto, the good stuff. All right, everyone's here that's going to be here. Speaking of old man Scrandopoulos is not going to be with us today. So he will be controlled by anyone who volunteers.
Nope.
Otherwise, I will NPC him. So, there any volunteers in this very deadly campaign to control this man who has 2 broken legs? Nobody?
I vote let's.
Nope.
Yes, you're not going to be responsible for anyone's.
I will be responsible for my own death. Thank you very much.
All right, fair enough.
He already killed somebody.
He knew the risks when he signed up for this game, and he broke his neck. So there you go.
Oh my god!
All right,